Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Food Matrimony. My name is Stella. Thank you for stopping by. If you are new to this channel, welcome here. If you like what you see, please do subscribe to support your sister and like, share. Let's get right into it. We are making palm nut soup today. Let's get started. So first, we are going to season and grill our mackerel here. I have already chopped them into 3 pieces each, I think. And I have grated some ginger on it. There, I also have added some salt. Salt to taste, of course. And this is according to preference. So it depends on how much you like your salt. And of course, feel free to add any other seasonings that you would like to add. I am also adding some fennel seeds, which I am crushing a little bit, and some garlic granules. So there, I sprinkled that on top as well. Then once I have done that, I am going to add some powdered pepper. I think I had cayenne pepper, I think, powdered cayenne pepper, and I also had paprika. So I added that, so the cayenne pepper and some paprika on top of it as well. And then using the tip of my fingers, I just made sure that I cover all of the fish. Make sure you put some of the seasoning inside the fish as well, to make sure every part of the fish is well seasoned and covered. And then I put it in the grill for about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Just keep an eye on it, turning occasionally. And then I have my palm nut paste here. This one is called Abenkwan. It has some pea aubergines in it, or turkey berry as people also call it. And I think it's got Prekese as well. And then I am going to blend my ginger, onions, aniseed, and garlic. I had 2 cloves of garlic, and I also have some dried fish that I will add to it as well. I have here 3 grains of selim or hwentia, and then I have some Prekese as well. Of course, you cannot make palm nut soup without Prekese. This is the real deal. I love my Prekese. So here I am blending my ginger, onions, fennel seeds, and garlic. If you watched my light soup video, you will see that I had the same mixture. So the first part of the soup making process is kind of the same. So I blended that and I add some to my meat. I have goat meat here as well, and then I add some salt, and I stored some of the mixture for my light soup as well. And then I add in some tomato puree. You can also use fresh tomatoes, so blend the fresh tomatoes with the ginger, onions mixture, and then add it instead of the tomato puree if you like. And of course, we just make sure that we mix it nice and uniformly to cover all of our meat. You can use any meat of your choice. You can use beef, pork, whatever meat that you would like to use is fine. And of course, you can also use fish. Then I add in some pepper, onions, 1 tomato, and some bell pepper. I use red bell pepper because it is sweet. The green ones is a little bit it's not as sweet as the red one, and that mimics the flavor of the turkey berry. I do not have turkey berry or pea aubergine, or pea aubergine as people also call it. And there, I almost forgot my Kobe. So this is salted tilapia that I am adding in as well. And then we cover this and allow it to simmer for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Just keep an eye on the meat. It depends on how soft you like your meat. I like it nice and tender. Just make sure that it is soft before you take off your vegetables. So I taking off the vegetables that I added, which is the onions, the tomato, the pepper, and the bell pepper as well, the habanero chili, of course, and the bell pepper. And then here I add in some water. I think I had probably about 400 milliliters, 300 to 400 milliliters of water that I am just going to add for the meantime. And then of course we give this a little bit of a stir. Okay, sometimes when it stays on the fire, we have to check underneath it to make sure that it is not burning underneath it. So here I have opened up my paste, my palm nut paste, and I am going to add about, I think I've got about 100 grams here. So I take out 100 grams and then I add in some hot water. And then after I add the hot water, I just stir it to get a nice uniform mixture. It doesn't matter if you have just a little bits of lump here and there. It will melt once it gets into the soup. And on the other side, I'm just going to blend the vegetables that I took out from the meat, which is my tomato. Add some water. So some tomatoes, pepper and the onions. Blend it and then I add it onto my soup. There we go. So rinse it a little bit with some water and then add that in as well. Then give this a little bit of a stir and just allow this to simmer on the fire. We should have our hob on medium heat. I was using a tricky cooker here. So when we pour our mixture, please be careful because sometimes you have some of the particles from the palm nut in it. So just make sure that you do not pour it all in at once. Leave those particles behind. So I have also got some ginger that I am going to add. I'm just using that to bash it a little bit before adding it to the soup. And I have got my Prekese, which you put under the grill just for a few minutes and then add it to the soup. So on this side, I have my fish that I grilled earlier on. So this is the time that you add your fish to the soup. So this pot that I have here, I think it's about 4 liters capacity, and I've got 100 grams of palm nut paste. So let's say about 25 grams to every liter of capacity of pots that you have. Of course, it depends on the amount that you are making as well. So that is just a guide for you. So I add in some of my fish and then give this a little bit of a stir. And I have got enough water in there to almost fill up my pot. And I add in my dried fishes as well. This here I think is catfish. So that is dried smoked catfish that I have there as a really nice flavor to it. And of course I have my Prekese as well. This should be cooking on medium heat. So low to medium heat is what you want. We do not want to rush the cooking. Soup is one of those things that you have to have patience for. So once the oil begins to settle at the top, you know that your soup is almost ready. Feel free to take off the oil and put it on the side, and that makes a really nice ampesi. It's another Ghanaian dish that I will share with you soon. Okay, it's really nice if you use the oil from the soup for your ampesi. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you, and please keep coming back for more. Bye for now. Have a nice week.